Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Matt's blast lights up gas station. Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless was one of those dark, breathless hours where two separate wars were being fought at the same time. One in Genoa City where Phyllis Summers was being squeezed by Victor Newman's legal machine, and the other in Las Vegas where Matt Clark was turning a rescue mission into a potential fire-ending nightmare. The tension in both stories is the same. No one is allowed to breathe, no one is given a fair chance, and everyone is compelled to make desperate choices under duress. By the end of the hour, Matt's game in the desert has come to a horrifying crescendo as the petrol station is literally blown apart with the Newmans trapped inside. Meanwhile, the power struggle for Newman Enterprises is getting uglier back at the Newman Ranch. Michael Baldwin still attempts to defuse the station by proposing a compromise. Victor buys the company back from Phyllis. That would at least save someone from a criminal showdown. Michael values a clean resolution, especially with Christine Blair Malloty back as district attorney, but Victor is not going to pay for what he feels was stolen from him. He considers the whole thing an insult. In Victor's mind, he shouldn't have to buy back what's his. Phyllis had taken something from him. He meant to take it back, no negotiation. That's the whole conversation. Victor makes it clear that there will be no compromises, no middle ground, no second chances. There's only one outcome he will accept, and that makes the room feel colder instantly. He says Michael can try to talk him out of it, but Victor is already too far gone. This is not a man seeking peace. This is a man who has decided victory is the only acceptable end, and who will take the whole fight to court if Phyllis refuses to give up. It is the kind of Victor Newman ultimatum that leaves a week of casualties. Meanwhile, Phyllis is being cornered in a different way in her office. Lauren Fenimore Baldwin is with her, and Daniel Romalotti Jr. comes when his mother says this has gotten too serious to keep at arm's length. Phyllis instantly tells Daniel that Victor is after her with false evidence and that the legal threat is not a bluff. But Daniel doesn't give Phyllis the answer she wants. He isn't surprised. He acts like maybe prison will do her some good if she keeps fighting Victor instead of backing down. It immediately puts mother and son on opposite sides of the emotional divide. Phyllis says none of this is fair. She says Christine's involvement in this case means she can never get a fair trial. And there's real frustration behind that claim. Whether she's right or wrong, she clearly believes the odds are against her. So she asks Daniel to do something very specific, to convince Danny Romalotti to distract Christine long enough for Phyllis to make a counter move. It is a typical Phyllis request, practical, understanded, and just a little bit desperate. She doesn't want to fold, she needs time, and she wants people around her to help build it. Daniel, though, is not up for the helping part of the plan. She probably heard enough from his mother to know where this is heading, and he's not interested in getting involved in another of her battles with Victor. Lauren jumps in to defend Phyllis, and this is exactly what she should do, because this is the point at which the conversation stops being about money and starts being about a woman who could end up in jail if she pushes her luck. Lauren recognizes how serious the situation is, even if Daniel is too frustrated to really get involved. When Phyllis finally storms off, there are two different reactions in the room. Lauren is trying to save her while Daniel wonders if she will ever actually listen to anyone. That fight in Genoa City is important because it is a reflection of the chaos in Las Vegas. Matt Clark is having one hell of a day in the desert. He is in a surprisingly good mood because of the moment he thinks he has the Newmans right where he wants them. Matt is not hiding his anger at Riza Thompson's treachery. She has obviously done something to undermine him and he is lashing out at her on the phone. But while he is furious, he is also smug. He knows the heart of his plan still works. The Newmans are stuck. Nick's getting soft. Adam, Sharon, and Noah freaked out. Matt can hardly contain his satisfaction. He talks to Riza in a way that makes it clear he's enjoying and suspense way more than he should. He uses riddles and twisted language, but he leaves just enough to be known what is coming next. He is going to turn the petrol station into a fireball with Nick, Adam, Sharon, and Noah inside. That's when the story shifts from a hostess nightmare to an execution plan. Matt is not only going to frighten the Newmans, he is planning to get rid of them. Riza is horrified to realize what he means, but the danger is already moving too fast for her to stop it. Riza does what she can with what she knows and passes that on to Chelsea. This is where Chelsea starts to panic, but when she sees that Matt is about to do, she knows that there is only one person who can move fast enough to stop him. So she makes the frantic call to Victor. It's the call nobody wants to make because it means everything has gone beyond regular rescue efforts. Chelsea tells Victor that Matt is going to blow up the petrol station with Noah, Sharon, Adam, and Nick inside it. Victor immediately jumps into action and tells her to send him the coordinates. This is no longer a rumor or a threat. This is a real emergency. Back at the petrol station, the shit's already hitting the fan. Nick is in rough shape. He's weak, disoriented, struggling to maintain consciousness after taking the pills that made his withdrawal even worse. Adam takes the rap and tells the whole story about the storage room and Nick stealing fentanyl bags after the bed setup Matt made. Sharon puts together the truth quickly enough to realize that if Nick is in withdrawal, then he must have been using before he was ever looked inside that room. This means that the problem is not one of just a desperate rescue. Nick's been fighting his body for a while now, and the crush has finally caught up with him. Adam also admits that he told Nick to take the drugs, saying he wanted to help him get through the immediate crisis and then get him proper help once the rescue was complete. That honesty is important because it shows that Adam wasn't careless. He was weighing a nasty temporary fix against a bigger plan to save Nick's life. But that plan is falling apart now. It is clear that Nick has a very bad dose and everyone can see how bad the situation is. They try to wake him up, try to talk him through it, try to get him enough help to move, but the petrol station is a trap. Matt took their phones away. The landline is not working. You cannot get an ambulance. That limitation makes the whole scene a desperate physical struggle. Nick is too weak to stand and Sharon has to help support him as Adam tries to work out how to get him to the car. Every second counts and every second is slipping away. There is no systematic rescue. There is nothing but panic, exhaustion, and the creeping realization that they may be running out of time faster than they thought. It is exactly the kind of nightmare Matt wanted to create, a place where help is just out of reach and the people inside the room can do nothing but watch the clock run down. Then the desert really does change. Sienna Buckle is on the road, driving to the petrol station when she notices Matt's parked car. That alone is enough to make the scene tense, but she does not merely stop and call someone. She jumps in the passenger seat and completely shocks Matt. That move changes the energy right away. Matt may have thought he was alone with his scheme, but now he has someone in the car who can see right through him, hear right through him, and challenge him head on. Sienna doesn't just stand there, she is a threat to the entire plan. They have a huge fight. Sienna watches the security cam feed and knows exactly what Matt's up to. She attempts to reason with him, begging him to stop before he destroys everything. She even goes so far as to suggest they can rapture what they lost and run away together since Victor transferred. everything but the club to her name. It's a desperate offer, but it also shows how badly she wants to keep this from becoming a death trap for the petrol station. If it means saving the people in that building, she is willing to reach for the fantasy of the future with Matt. Matt, however, sees through it. He believes Sienna is only trying to save her boy toy, and that's enough to make him stop listening. His mood turns sharper, darker, more dangerous. I think he's hard enough. Then he presses the detonate button without a moment's hesitation coldly. The petrol station blows up into a fireball in the distance. It's the kind of soap explosion that hits you like a gut punch because the show has been building to it the whole episode. The danger has been plain, the countdown has been clear. All that reminded was if anyone could stop it in time. They cannot. Matt's evil plan is to burn the building down with Nick, Adam, Sharon, and Noah inside. For a moment, the screen is pure chaos, smoke, fire, panic, and the awful realization that the rescue effort has just turned into a disaster. Sienna is left fearing the worst, and that reaction makes the moment even more devastating. She has tried to talk Matt out of it. She has tried love, guilt, and memory to get him to stop. Yet Matt has opted for distraction instead. At the moment, the question isn't whether he's gone mad. The question is, did anyone live long enough to get out? That's where the episode leaves off. Flames in the desert, Victor rushing to the rescue, Chelsea horrified, Phyllis is still unwilling to back down, Lauren is still trying to keep her friend out of prison, Matt standing in the wreckage of his own cruelty like he somehow won. But in soap opera land, wins like that are never as final as they seem. Matt may have blown up the petrol station, but the fallout from that explosion is just beginning. And this is the moment where the story stops feeling like a game and starts feeling like a line that's been crossed for good. Because once you push a button like that, there's no taking it back, no explaining it away, no pretending it was all part of a plan. And honestly, I think that's what makes this so chilling. Matt didn't lose control, he chose it. Which makes me wonder, is this really about revenge anymore, or has it turned into something much darker, something he cannot come back from? At the same time, look at Victor, because his world suddenly feels very different now. When lives are literally on the line, does his fight with Phyllis even matter anymore, or is he about to realize too late that he was focused on the wrong battle? And here's where it gets really interesting. If anyone survives that explosion, everything changes. Because survival doesn't end the story, it exposes it. Secrets come out, blame gets assigned, and the person who thought they were in control suddenly becomes the most haunted. My personal take, this explosion isn't the climax, it's the beginning of Matt's downfall, because the second Victor steps into this with proof, rage, and a reason, this stops being a chase and becomes a reckoning. But the real question is, who made it out and in what condition? And if someone didn't, who will everyone blame when the smoke clears? Because something tells me, the fire in that desert didn't just burn a building, it's about to burn every alliance, every secret, and every illusion of control these characters thought they still had.